All right, welcome back again to this morning or today's Citrus Today show. Glad to have with us a couple of folks from our Citrus County Lunchroom Services program. Kelly Niblett, there we go, Kelly Niblett, and also Roy Pistone.
Yes,
and we're talking about the lunchroom and breakfast programs. Of course, they're being offered through the summertime for folks out there. Let's talk a little bit about how you formulate what goes into a meal. There's certain elements that you have to have in every meal, right, Kelly?
Absolutely. The USDA gives us guidelines and says we have to have so many cups of vegetables, let's say, per grade level, okay, or age level.
Right.
And within that, then it tells you have to have so many dark green, so many from your legumes or beans, so many from other, so many red, orange. So you have to be able to fit all those in. Then it gives you calorie guidelines. You can only go up to a certain amount of calories, but you have to have a minimum of calories. And the minimum and maximums are only 100 calories to play with. So the minimum to the maximums, can be tricky at times. And then it tells you how many minimums of grains you can serve, how many minimums of meat items to serve. And it doesn't have the maximums anymore. They've relaxed the maximum limits, but just without relaxing the calorie limits, your hands are still tied. You can't give too much because you're going to exceed your caloric requirements. So taking all that into consideration, and then you have to obviously take into consideration food preferences. You start juggling things, and that's where the food testing comes in, and it's so important. So we do test. Again, we go out and we have teachers volunteer their classrooms to come into the cafeteria, and they might test anywhere from 1 to 5 products, and they write out a form, and they, the elementaries, it's smile faces, and as you get older, they're able to give a little more feedback. And we do that, and then we look at the percentages and see whether or not it's acceptable or not acceptable. And the other thing we do is I'll go out to schools and sit with the kids at lunchtime and see what the plate waste is and see what they're asking for or not asking for. And the other thing Roy and I did a lot last year was go to the student advisory executive committees. Is that right? They're called SAC meetings.
Yes.
And it's representation from the school administration, the community, and the students. And a lot of times they have good feedback or requests or questions, and we have an opportunity to use that as a forum for education, feedback, and so those have been wonderful experiences as well.
Excellent. When you go out and you sit with the students eating the meals there, you have to learn an awful lot, I'm sure. And as you said, from one side of the county to the next, there's differing tastes, different opinions going on, huh?
Absolutely. We have areas where we do super salads and parfait plates, and they can't make enough of them. Then you've got another part of the county that would prefer barbecue pork sandwiches, but this side doesn't necessarily like them. So that's why we schedule a minimum of, I said this before I believe, but a minimum of 3 for the elementary and the middle school, a minimum of 3 entrees to 4 entrees a day. So there's always something there that a student can like, so, and again, we match up the preferred ones to the medium ones, try to take in consideration location and everything. So try to accommodate everybody's needs. So every day that the student shows up, there is something on that menu that they would enjoy to eat. And again, being in the nice cafeterias makes it a pleasant place to eat.
So you really are running a customer-driven restaurant when you talk about their individual tastes and what you need to put out there to get the most for the value. One of the hard things has got to be, on this side, you're testing the food, you're making sure it's all nutritionally fit and so forth. On the other side, now is the business angle where you're having to deal with a lot of food companies purchasing foods, right?
Absolutely.
That gets a little tricky, doesn't it?
Yeah, we actually are fortunate in Citrus County. We belong to what they call a buying co-op, Dennis, which is made up of about 36 school districts throughout the state of Florida. It's actually called the Power Buying Group. And with that, we have purchasing power of about $500 million. So you can see that when we ask for certain products, that the manufacturers step up to the plate and we try and get the biggest bang for our buck. Obviously, we want to put high specifications on the products that we ask for, but we want to keep the cost as low as what we can to maintain the budgets that we all have to maintain.
And you're serving name brand food within the school system. People just may not realize that, right?
Absolutely. One of our preferred manufacturers for our chicken products is Tyson, and most everybody has heard of Tyson. You'll get your Kellogg's cereals, you'll get your General Mills cereals, and other manufacturers such as that we definitely spec. So it's items that people are aware of. They see it in the grocery store when they go shopping, so I want them to feel confident knowing that the products that we do get are superior products.
Now, before the show, you were telling me about a couple of awards here just recently that we have been fortunate enough that our people in the Citrus County school system have been awarded. Tell me about a couple of those.
Okay.
You received one yourself.
Absolutely.
Yes. I'll tell you about our one employee. Her name is Gwen Fryer, and she is our finance specialist, and she just recently received from the National Association, which is called the School Nutrition Association. She was the lone recipient from the state of Florida to attend their leadership conference, which just happened recently in Savannah. So we're very proud of Gwen and the work that she does for our county. So.
And I know he won't pat himself on the back.
So I'll do that. And Mr. Pistone was awarded the Director of the Year for the state of Florida, and he was nominated by his staff here. And out of all the districts and all the counties in Florida, and Florida's a big state, he took the prize. And
All right, very good.
Well deserved.
Well, we are so lucky to have you both here in Citrus County, and I know our kids in the school system are extremely lucky to have all the workers in our lunch and breakfast programs doing just a fantastic job. Again, thank you for taking some time out in your busy schedule to be with us on the show today.
Thank you for having us. We really appreciate it.
And thank you folks for joining us as well, and we'll see you on the next edition of Citrus Today.